All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time zone you are checking us out at. My name is Kai Deering, and I'm excited to share with you another episode of On the Fly with Kai. And quite frankly, we don't do a lot of preparation, thus the name, but we do bring you incredible resources, people with great hacks, tips, and tricks for entrepreneurs, and prayerfully, it's a lot of value. And so I'm excited to bring to you today, and today is Thursday, March 25th, 2021. I can't believe we're already done with Q1 of 2021. It's insane. But I bring to you today a really amazing young woman who I've had the pleasure, I actually got referred to her, I would say maybe 6 months to a year ago. We've done some projects regarding social media. She's given me some great advice. And social media is, especially now that we're all virtual, has been a huge, huge thing. And she was doing social media before it was a thing, if you will. And what I love about it is she's a digital marketing really specialist, but she's also a social media diva, which I love. And she's really passionate about combining, strategies, creativity that are going to drive not only opportunities, but engagement and ways to build relationships via social media. And for those of you who are in the audience, you are welcome to type in questions and chats. We can actually see it. But with that being said, I'm excited to bring to the virtual stage here, CARLY. Welcome, my dear. How are you?
Hello, good morning or afternoon, depending where you are. I'm doing great. How are you, Kai?
Good. Well, I want to dive right into this because I was telling you, I couldn't help but keep asking you questions even before we started. And I'm like, wait, I want to ask that in front of everybody because there's so much like mystery around social media. So I want to dive into it, but I want to know, because I personally want to know, you went to college, you graduated, and how the heck did you end up in social media? There's no classes in college on social media and how to be a digital guru. So what in the world? How did that happen for you?
Absolutely. Well, it's a really good question. And I really want to start, before education and really getting into high school and college. I was born and raised in Los Gatos, and also in the era where iPhones and social media came on the rise. So really growing up, I remember, the first launch of Instagram, what it even looked like back then. I mean, the platforms, the features, everything is so different from when it first launched. And back in the day when it first launched, it wasn't some sort of business need, business value. Not a lot of people were utilizing it for marketing. It was for like a personal account. We're just posting pictures, keeping up to date on people's lives and everything. Fast forward many, many years up until 2020. And now, businesses everywhere are utilizing social media to either gain an audience, gain business attraction, brand awareness, or even generate more sales. So really, I grew up in a small town, loved being in my community, helping my community, and just doing anything I can. So after doing some studying and self-teaching, which was a huge benefit to me, I learned a lot about social media, the ins and outs, and to this day, how you can utilize it and help with your business. So I decided to actually start my own business in 2015. And for the first year, I went through my local town of Los Gatos, California, and offered my services completely free, just so I could help small businesses in my area have an online presence and try to compete, with the franchises that were coming into town or these big name brands. So it's really important for me to help small businesses in the area not only have an online presence, but make sure that they're accessible online to consumers, because right now with COVID, if you're not online, it's almost like you're not there. So social media has been a huge innovation. It has developed over the years, and staying up to date on it is something I do best.
I know. It's so funny because there is no class, no college class on this, no way to do it. So it's almost like you have to just, trial and error, organic and all that good stuff. So okay, so let's just talk about all of this. So you and I have always talked about like some of the mistakes that you see business owners make. And I know we could be here all day talking about that. I've made plenty of them, and you've definitely tried to help me steer in the right direction. So what would you say that you're seeing out there now that's been some challenges for people that you're like, man, if you could just do this better? Maybe there's 2 or 3 egregious things that people are doing wrong that you can help them, course correct.
Absolutely. So the two things I want to talk about is, first of all, staying on a course. You need to have a strategy and stay on the course. And the second thing I will talk about is you have to understand how social media works and the consistency it takes in order to gain an audience and engagement. So, the first thing is a lot of people these days make a mistake, and small businesses make a mistake of just wanting to be online. So they just create an Instagram page or a Facebook page, not knowing what to do, how to optimize that online presence platform, or even how to utilize it 100%. So a lot of people, instead of digging for information or even asking your local diva if how to do things or where to start on social media, people are just opening up accounts on every social media platform you think of. And that is one of the biggest mistakes a small business or professional individual can do. Personally and professionally, I have learned over the years that if you don't have a strategy or a clear sight as to what you're marketing, what audience you want to reach, and what kind of engagement you want to get out of your efforts, then you are simply in this online abyss, I like to call it, which is, these days there are billions of people on social media. And if you aren't targeting, if you're not understanding who you need to reach, then you are putting yourself in an abyss. So all your efforts, all your marketing, anything you're trying to display is actually being ignored by these social media platforms, and you're not able to get that reach. And the second mistake I see that's huge is, I'm sorry, what did I say? I said
Consistency.
Consistency. Thank you. A lot of people don't think of the simple way of reaching consumers' social media because they're not consistent. What they're trying to do is they're trying to stay up to date on all of these social media platforms that they created. And that is a huge mistake. If you are not, planning and strategizing and staying consistent on either one or two social media platforms that you are a rock star at, you are even like your own personal specialist, then again, you are using your time and efforts and posting to no one, which is the abyss. So it's really important to understand your strategy and who you're trying to reach on platforms. And also, you have to stay consistent on the platforms that you decide you are going to adventure into. A lot of people think you can just post here or there, these days, like I said, because there are billions of social media accounts, especially because of COVID, you have to be consistent every single day, which is not so complicated or overwhelming as it may seem, whether you're just scoping out other businesses, liking other businesses, or even posting something yourself. It's all about giving it a little bit of TLC, which is time, leverage, and consistency.
Okay, hold on. I'm writing it down. Okay, great. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so every day, we have to do it every day.
You have to be at least active every single day, whether that is, like I said, liking other professionals' posts, liking other pages, whether it's, doing a hashtag refresh, which is what we can talk about, Kai, a hashtag refresh and talking about hashtags. There's so many things you can do to be active on your social media platforms every single day. It does not have to be posting on your feed every single day. Okay. It's engaging with your audiences. Yes. Right. So it really isn't as overwhelming as it may seem. It does make a difference when you spend time on your social media and you engage with your followers and with the content you already have posted on your feed.
I swear I could be here all day. We're going to have to bring you back because I have a list of questions like this because I see my friend Mindy here. Hi, Mindy. And we are always trying to crack this social media code. And it's irritating because it seems like we're making traction and then, whatever. So here's another question. You talked about organic target marketing. And when we talked about that in the pre-show, and I was like, okay, I want to know what that is. And you're like, but wait, let me ask in front of everyone. Because you said that's something that you're really a specialist in. So what in the world is that? I've never heard that. I thought I had my finger on the pulse. Apparently I don't. What is that? And how can we take advantage of whatever that is?
No problem. So yes, instead of paying the big guys, which I am capable of doing, but I do not, enjoy really, handing over the funds to get some eyes that may see my business or post. So organic targeted marketing is actually taking more efforts and consistency into social media. So it's you doing the work yourself. So that's scoping out your audience, that's collecting your insights and using every social media platform to its fullest extent. So you are not just posting to one platform. You are not just saying hello somewhere. There is a clear direction, whether it's, trying to get a certain audience on Instagram or Facebook. And instead of boosting and post, which you guys may see, Facebook goes, oh, boost your post or pay for an ad. We, instead of paying the big guys, we actually put more efforts and work into whatever, marketing piece we are about to publish. So before, when you're doing organic targeted marketing, you want to make sure that every post has hashtags that can reach a local targeted market that you are trying to reach. You're also including a location and specifics and details on, how you are beneficial to that target location. So, put it into better perspective. We're going to talk about paid ads and organic targeted marketing. If you pay for an ad, you're going to pay, let's say, Google, a couple $100, and they're going to say, okay, we promise we may get 100 eyes on this, and you may, again, get approximately 15 or 20 impressions. That's not a lot. Then you talk about organic targeted marketing, where you are doing the research yourself. You're finding out how consumers in your target market can be reached easily through each platform, and you are putting the content that they want to see right in front of their eyes, thus creating more engagements, a larger reach, and something that you call organic targeted marketing. So it seems like a big scope of things, but all you're doing is the work yourself. And it's more of understanding who your audience is and doing research yourself in your target market.
So when you are your business, like I kind of am my business, I just think I'd be uncomfortable with somebody posting for me. Like if I sold if I sold tractors or if I sold, flowers, I don't think I'd mind somebody else posting for me because it would just be that item. But it's like, if your item is you, then it seems like you'd have to post for yourself anyway, because no one else can be you.
Absolutely. So I completely agree with that. If you do hire someone, you absolutely have to make sure they are your voice. It's not just what they're specializing in or what they're good at. If you are allocating for someone else to be your voice, that's really important. But Kai, when it comes to you and what you're doing, first of all, people love to see you. People love to hear from you too. They know it's you too because you're very authentic. And that's the one biggest tip I can give is on social media, be authentic and nothing else. You have to be you. There's the saying out there that there's one Kai in this world full of billion people. Okay, don't try to be like other people. Don't copy other businesses because you think their idea is good. Whether you like an idea or want to do something, take it and put your own spin on it. But, people want to see businesses and professionals being themselves and being authentic, because there are too many businesses out there that just want your money and really nothing else. So really it's all about looking authentic and looking yourself.
So it's fun. So I love that we can pull people up too. So Lulu says she totally agrees. So I asked you this in the pre-show too, but I said, wait, don't answer it yet. I wanted to answer it here. So this is a perfect lead in for my other question. Okay. Are you ready for this? This is my question. I swear to you, woman, I will post pictures of anything and I get no engagement. I post a stupid selfie and I'll get tons of engagements. And then I feel like a narcissist because every post is it. And then my friend from high school called me the other day and she's like, is your husband feeling like he's an Instagram boyfriend or something like that? And I was like, shut up. So they're giving me, my friends from high school are giving me grief because there's a lot of pictures of me. But if I don't post pictures of me, nobody cares. Can you please address that? It's so confusing.
Absolutely. So first of all, the biggest thing you can do is understand what your audience and your consumers like. And obviously for your stance, it's seeing your true self, seeing Kai happy, it's seeing her success. literally radiating from your face, Kai. And I've seen that too. You get engagements when you're sharing a story about yourself, sharing how you feel right now in this moment because something happened. And you know what? A lot of people are not doing that on social media. Rather, they're sugarcoating their lives and making it seem like it's peach perfect. And then there's Kai Deering, who's showing you the realistic life of an entrepreneur and a successful one as well. So Kai, as much as I love seeing, maybe other content, I think what really allocates with you and what your audience really grows to and towards is your personal self, your authentic self. So it doesn't always have to be a picture of your face, but if there's other content you find you're not getting engagement on, you also need to think of, well, does it look okay? Does this picture that's not of me, it's just of some content, how does it look? How is the lighting? How is it going to display on my profile? And those are things that you have to think about as well with publishing. You can't just publish a photo these days. Over 70% of photos on social media are actually edited, whether it's through Photoshop, Lightroom, there's some sort of editing factor on there so they can gain a larger reach and ultimately, have a nicer looking feed. So that's another thing, aesthetics of photos. I know that sounds so silly, but the aesthetic of a photo can really make it a hit or a miss. And that's one thing that you personally just need to, research on. Okay, how can I make these images that aren't me stand out or more better? Or you think about engaging with the audience in the caption when it comes to content like that. So it's really your work, your efforts, understanding what your consumers and audience wants to see.
All right, so here's another one. So I could be here all day. I'm so not kidding. All right. So there are, Instagram, Facebook business pages, and Atma was asking about stories. And okay, so let's tackle one at a time. So most of my peeps end up being on Facebook. I try to get engagement on Instagram. I usually get crickets. So what do you recommend, and when would you focus on one or the other? So let's talk about those two platforms, Instagram versus Facebook, when and how.
Perfect. So first I want to point out something, because Facebook and Instagram are connected. You can actually do something now where you post on Facebook and it shows up on your Instagram page. Or
vice versa, right? I mean, you can do the other way.
Yes, correct. You can be posting on Instagram and click a button, it'll post to your Facebook. And a lot of there's a huge misconception on that feature. It could be saving you time, but here's the problem, and the thing that you need to learn is that Facebook is going to have a different audience that will be attracted to you than your Instagram. You have to think of who you're reaching on both platforms and, research your current audience to see, okay, well, this is where my audience stands. This is where they're coming from. And Facebook and Instagram give you insights as to where your audience is coming from, how they're engaging with you. You have to use that information to really understand. But instead of always trying to be consistent and just posting on both platforms, you have to utilize them differently. Okay. They are connected because they're the same company, and they can have some cross, platform promotions like ads or the shopping feature. Yet, if you want to see the full utilization and engagement you can reach from each social media platform, then you have to take, let's say, a piece of content and think, okay, what is my strategy for Facebook? Who am I trying to reach? Who am I trying to connect with? What type of engagement? Okay, great. Post it there with the hashtags and the reach. And then take yourself with the same content and you have to go to Instagram. And you have to say, okay, who am I reaching? What hashtags am I going to use to gain this reach? And am I going to ask my consumers or audience to engage with me? Whether it's asking them something in the captions or giving a quick like. You really have to focus on both the platforms being different audiences and different channels for gaining brand awareness. Not everyone who's on Facebook, you will find on Instagram. A lot of people have deleted their Facebook within the past 2 years and have actually been full-time on Instagram. So instead of making that mistake of cross-posting here and there every single day, change that up. Manually post on both platforms. Research your hashtags. Understand that you have to be thinking of The who, what, when, where, and why of marketing. And we can go into that too, Kai. I want to talk about that too.
Well, you have to come back because I already have like a million questions.
Yes.
Okay, so just to oversimplify on that, do not send one to the other like I do. Don't do that. Retailer it a little bit, but is it okay to put a similar post? Because the people that are looking at IG aren't the same on FB. They're different. So just retailer it a little bit, but you could post the same post basically on the same day. Is that okay?
Absolutely. And that is what I recommend to do. So take the same image, but you tailor it to your Facebook and tailor it to your Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, so now that's Facebook and Instagram. Now within each of those, they have business and they have personal. Now you made me switch from Instagram personal to an Instagram business, and I'm forever grateful for that because nobody really notices it's a business page. It looks exactly like a personal page, but now I get insight. So I haven't changed anything I've been doing on there. Unfortunately, Facebook is not the same, dirty dogs. Your business page is very different than your personal page. So what the heck do we do with that? And how do we stay out of Facebook jail and not end up going, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if my friends have posted on their personal page, like, hey, do business with me. And then they go to jail. So then we've been posting on our Facebook business page and then broadcasting it to the other. And here's something we just learned. I have a little social media mafia with Stacy and Mindy and all these guys. And they just shared with us yesterday that if you have a Facebook business page, they just want your money. So they're not putting your content anywhere because they want you to pay for a boost. So don't even bother putting it there. So anyway, very confusing. Let's talk about Facebook business versus personal. Hello.
Absolutely. I love it. Great question. So my focus is ensuring that you get local attention in your current market. So I am a big believer. And if you have a business, you get a business Facebook page. They now allocate for either a small business or a professional individual like yourself, Kai. So unfortunately, personal pages are great. If you're searching for someone personal, amazing. You can use it for family photos, friend photos, everything like that. But you keep your marketing off of there. You keep any type of business content off of your personal, okay? I do absolutely think you need, if you're personal or a professional individual or a small business, having a business page is important because, like I said, these days you can have an online presence, which is great, but having a strong online presence, meaning you're active on certain platforms that is optimizing your online presence, meaning it's making you more accessible to consumers organically, then it's easier for your consumers to find yourself. So a lot of people make the mistake of using their personal Facebook to market themselves. Personally, that's where you can go into Facebook jail. There are certain guidelines and rules that you have to follow per a personal page and a business page. So really, I do believe that if you're a business, have that business page because you also need those insights that the business page gives you.
No,
will not. So that's another thing is I don't like that they said, you don't need it because you absolutely do. Understanding who your audience is and where they're coming from and how to utilize that information is what is going to help you gain that larger reach brand awareness organically over time. So people think, oh, you have to have a business page and then pay the big guys. No, it's more of focusing on who your audience is and what you're doing to utilize just the Facebook or the Facebook business page itself or Instagram business. So absolutely think that you need both, especially when someone Googles you online. You want to make sure you do pop up on platforms you are active on. The more, it has been said now, the more online presences you have that are strong, the more authentic and reliable of a business you seem to a consumer.
Okay, so now I want to tackle this one, and Atma asked this, and I can't find his question, otherwise I would throw it on the screen here. So now that we figured out personal, business, insights, all this stuff, now there's this thing called stories. What in the world are we supposed to do with that? And then our posting on our feed, is it the same? Do you post your same thing there and in your, because there's a lot of people, I never go to their page. I only look at their story. I'm not going there. So anyway, how do we utilize those effectively? And they're also available on business and personal. So what the heck do we do?
Yeah. So really, if you Do we just want to stay with Instagram? Because you can post stories on Facebook from Instagram too. What do you want me to steer?
Well, because I send from my business IG, it goes to my business
Mm-hmm.
page, and I often delete it off my business page and repost it on my personal page because it's personal stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. Hit it wherever you want. I'm so confused.
Well, that's I love it though. I love that you brought up stories because people are like, wow, I'm on Instagram. There's posts, there's reels, there's live videos you can do, there's stories, there's so much you can do. But here's the thing, instead of trying to be good at all of it, you need to focus on one portion first. Become a rock star, great, then move forward. So become a rock star on publishing content, making sure you're doing great, and then move on to something called stories. Now, stories are only published for 24 hours. So anything you post, it will literally disappear in 24 hours. And truly, unless you are finding that, you don't feel like your followers are seeing your content, then it would be a great way to utilize a story by reposting your feed post to your story and telling your audience to go click on that post and engage. So it's a way to repopulate or remarket your posts that are already published. But let's say you have like a brand new special, or you have something great that you just need to tell the people around you, or you have some special like this, you're broadcasting your live streams. I mean, those can be popped up in your stories for people to see. Hey, join on today, Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Jump over to my Facebook business page and we'll see you live. So it's really understanding how you can utilize it. If you don't understand stories or how you can reach them, I really recommend Googling about it. If not, then hiring some social media specialists to help you understand what is the best way for you to use a story. Like I said, there's different methods, but everyone utilizes social media differently so they can be successful there.
Okay, we need like an hour because Stacy wants to know about LinkedIn. We don't have time for that. I want to know about hashtags. We don't have time for that either. So we got to put a pin in this because I could go forever with you. It seems like everybody's loving it. I mean, it's so funny. Like I could be here forever. So listen, we only have 3 minutes left. It went so fast. So I promise we'll bring you back maybe even once a quarter because things change so fast. I mean, it's insane. Mm-hmm. Where and how do we engage with you? Like, should we go to your website? Should we go to your Instagram? Maybe somebody wants to hire you. How do they find you? What do they need to know to engage with you?
Absolutely. So, my website is launched right now. I have a new launch coming back next week. I'll be launching my new website, but that doesn't mean I don't have an online presence. So my company is Knockout Enterprises, LLC. I'm located right now in Los Gatos, San Jose. And I have every social media you can, that we just mentioned, which is Instagram, Facebook. I do have a LinkedIn. So please reach out to me, whether it's through my website and the business inquiry form, or, whether you just, Kai, I don't know if you can even just drop my email.
I'm going to put it in the chat here. So what do you want me to put in the chat? I can put whatever you want, doll.
Oh, okay. So let's use my fun one. It's connectwithcarly@gmail.com. That's where I take all business inquiries. So it's just connectwithcarly@gmail.com.
Hopefully I spelled connect right. So CONNECT with CARLY with a C. Okay. Yeah. I just put that in the chat so everybody has that and they can find you there. In closing here, we have like literally 2 minutes left. Is there anything that you say, the nugget of the half hour that you want to share? Then any last minute comments that you want to share? Because this has been a really awesome conversation. I could be here all day.
Absolutely. So what's really important, Mark, right now is understanding if you have a strong online presence. So kind of standing aside from social media, right now it's really important to understand if your social media platforms are strong and if your overall online presence is being accessed by consumers in your local or targeted market. So if any of you guys need help with that as well, I do in-depth analysis of online presences and I'm able to tell you, what you can do, recommend a direction, but I highly recommend Google your business, Google yourself, see what consumers are seeing when they try to look for services or professionals like yourself. So understand what you are displaying as on in the technical world, I should say.
All right. So on that note, what a great nugget. Google yourself. Hey, listen, I just want to say thank you so much, Carly. We just appreciate you. And I mean, I would just want to continue this conversation. But thank you, everybody, for joining us for another great episode of On the Fly with Kai. We come to you every single Thursday. Thanks, Jeannie. Jeannie loved it as well. We come to you every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, all time zones in between, where we try to bring you incredible, relevant tips, tricks, and hacks for the entrepreneur. Thanks again, Carly. Everyone else, take care, take charge. We'll see you over the top. Bye-bye.
Thank you.